to upgrade your RX or R9 crossbow, indeed you need this Adder 2 kit, and we will look in the box just in a few seconds. But also the biggest problem here is you need to get rid of these plastic parts, because at least right now I think that EK Archery is not providing upgrade handle. So what we need to remove this part and make it something similar to this one. Everything else will be done with replacement of the content of the upgrade kit, and therefore we need some additional instruments. You need a file and you need a saw, so we can cut this and make it pretty thin, so the magazine can move over this cutted part. Okay, now let's open this pack and see what's here. So first of all, there is an upgrade kit manual. I would highly recommend to read it through and rely to what you've read here, not to what I will show on the video, but still we're gonna do it. So first of all, we unpack everything we've got here. Core system of the crossbow, and as I see there is a stronger this part, and this part is also reinforced, so we're gonna replace it soon. And let's see what else here. So those are limbs. There is any label, but it's 180. Yeah, it's 180 lbs, so it's stronger. Okay, good. And you are getting extra short bolts and extra tips, and even this screw for magazine, but no magazine. The patient is ready. Let's start surgical manipulation. So first of all, we remove those Picatinny rails and this arc, and then we need to remove limbs, and for limbs you need to use hexagon, unscrew this small top here. After that you can release the locking pin here, and you can remove the limbs. Second thing, you want to remove this part as well. And now we've got pretty much ready for substitution. Also you need to remove those 6 screws, and after that unfix this one, and oh sorry, so you need to remove this rear part, and this rear part we will need to process by cutting it here as thin as possible. So let's move it aside, and now we need to get out this mechanism. Okay, so yeah, if we compare, you can see this part is much stronger, so it should not bend. And okay, I think we will not need this now, and now we can actually put this in place. So we are done with this part. Now let's get to the processing of this part. And so for this you need a saw and you need to cut it here. Okay, I guess you might invent better ways how to cut it, so I decided not to use actually electronical devices, no cheating, so just a handle saw, and of course you need to fixate it, because otherwise you will get very bad results, I guess. So now we're gonna try to cut it. I will do some control during this process so we can make sure we cut as even and as thin as possible, so we need to do less filing later, but same time probably what you don't want to cut into this layer, if you can see, so you want to leave some few millimeters of the surface, definitely. And I would recommend to control it on both sides, time to time. So just paused this process, so that's probably how it should look, you see. That's what you want to get. You want to get some surface here, so later you can file it, but you don't want to get rid of this surface. So something like this is a good intermediate result. Okay, as you get so far, you probably need to stop, because in this case here you don't want to continue in this area. So what we will do, we will cut this part and then just break it off. Now it's cut all the way here and it's cut here, so now we can break it off. Okay, not very smooth, but that we're gonna fix by filing. And what we're trying to achieve is actually smooth and thin surface here, and so that it looks nice. Give me a second, I'll improve it. Okay. Okay, after filing it, you can use tool like this to finish your surface. I think I have to rough sandpaper, but for demonstration purposes you don't need any glance here. Okay, not proud about this result, but I think it's ready at least to be tested and put in. You can actually make a quick test if you have this Adder magazine. So we can put it in and check if it moves free enough here. So for me it looks like we are good with this part. Maybe I need to file a bit this to be slightly thinner. Okay, the overall result that you want to get is something approximately like 1 millimeter thin layer all along the way of the magazine. So then you are pretty safe, it will not catch the magazine itself. So now again, the best way to test it is if you have already out of the box magazine, or you can test it with a bolt magazine as well, putting it on and checking that nothing is scratching. So now we need to put those 6 screws in, and we are getting closer to be ready to test it. And just in case, it looks like EK Archery is giving you spare screws. So if you don't have those from original set, something lost, you can get it here, but I will use original ones and screw it all together. So long screws comes here, I guess, and short screw comes here. Don't rush, don't apply too much power. Remember, you are screwing in the screw into the plastic, so feel when you should stop, otherwise you will destroy your thread and will have a lot of troubles. Indeed, there will be a solution, so you can create a bigger hole, then fill in epoxy, and then screw, and then prepare a new hole there, but you don't want to go this way. And now let's check that all the mechanism is working well. So it really goes all the way. And what we're gonna do, I hope you really do it. So we need to lubricate the rail, because we don't want this thing to be damaged. So okay, we are done with that, and now we need to put in limbs. What actually EK Archery says, they say that you should stick with original limbs, try a few shots, and then put in the stronger limbs. So we will do as I recommend, and we'll put in the limbs. Okay, just a warning, while we were filming here we lost this small tab. Yeah, so be careful, don't lose it. It's painful. There is a ball inside and spring might be inside, so you will spend a lot of time to get replacement. We found it successfully on the floor, but device, don't repeat our mistakes. Okay, and now we are putting original limbs inside here to do some test shooting. So prior to shooting, we're gonna test the mechanism. So we're gonna load it. We're gonna see that it's fixating here well, and set no issues here. Don't put it over, you can easily do it. So, and now unload it. So everything works fine. Now put it into the fire position, put the trigger. You are done, and we are ready to install the Adder original magazine. Oh, sorry guys, we need an anti-jammer here, because I guess the old jamming story is not solved here. So even on V2 they have done nothing with this potential movement of the bolt behind the metallic part and jamming. So let's now finger cross and see. I will not glue it, but normally I recommend to glue it with few dots, so it's in the right place, the anti-jammer. Now screw it in. Oh my gosh, it's very long. Okay, it could be shorter. Okay, So make sure that anti-jammer is behind the string fixer, because it should not be in front, it should be to the back of the fixer. Okay, now let's try to again to load it. Okay, it's a dry fire protection. It's okay. So okay, now it seems like we are not in the rail. So here is the problem. You see, be careful, it's loaded, but you see the rail is not in the right position. I will show you just by removing the magazine. Okay, let's remove the lamps and see the difference between how it should be and how it is. So that's how it is. You see, it's not fitted in, and that's how it should be. So it should be on the same level, and the reason is here that we need a grab here. But what we're gonna do, we will need to remove this part again and file it. So to be wise, this time we put it as much back as possible, and we make here a scratch so we know how far we need to file. And we will need to file it flat to this surface, and then we make a scratch here as well. So now we need to file it, but to file it, I guess we need, unfortunately, to remove it all out. I removed the handle, and to not release this screw, I just moved it out here. And what we need to do, we now need to flat this to the surface. Okay, that's how one surface should look like. You see, it's flat. So now we need to achieve something similar with other surface. Okay, I think it's flat enough. So now we can test it by moving it in, and voila, it's in the right place, sitting. I would say it could be even maybe 2 millimeters back here for safety, but for me it sits well. But when you make your scratch, make it maybe 2 millimeters back to have this redundancy. Okay, next issue you might face is that when you are moving back the magazine, it's catching here. What does it mean? It means that you don't have flat enough surface, and maybe you want even to make it a bit under the angle here, so magazine can go on this surface if it catches it. So we need to file it a bit more. I'm not finally able to put the anti-jammer correctly, so I gave up and I applied 2 dots of super glue, and after that I will put the magazine. Final dry test. So what we have here faced is this surface needs to be thin enough, and then we need to have a file grab here for the rail. So now let's try to load it. Okay, everything nice and good. Unload it, and we are ready to put some bolts here and do a test shoot. Okay, so I think it's enough. You can put 2 more bolts here, but it's enough. And now, okay, what we are missing here? We're missing here this part. so you can see it in all its glory. Okay, I think we are ready for a test shot. Okay. Wow, interesting. Okay. Okay, everything goes nice. So let's now put UPBOLT Adder magazine here and see how it fits, because it's actually two options for you. After an upgrade, you can either try to find someone who already have maybe York's magazine or UPBOLT magazine and doesn't need this standard magazine, buy from them, or you can buy UPBOLT magazine and have luxury of shooting with long bolts. So let's install UPBOLT magazine here. Here is the Adder magazine. So we're gonna install it on this fellow, and as you know, you are getting all the screws required, everything for setup. So I will not get into the details, but the short story is that you need to replace Picatinny, and you need to put the magazine on with the right anti-jammer. This we will need to glue here and put the right anti-jammer and fixate it with 3 screws. Let me do it and I'll get back in a second with everything done. So now we fixated frontal part with 2 screws on each side and 3 screws for magazine. Don't remember, the top screw is mandatory. Now let's do the dry test. Sorry, we need to avoid dry fire protection. And see the mirror. Yeah, never leave it like this. And yeah, so everything works fine. The rail goes down and everything is good. So after this we can load bolts. But before I will load, I will add a handle here, which is actually siege handle, but this handle is actually identical for the siege, so it fits perfectly here. And let's screw it in. And why I'm doing this, because I have here on the table this locker, so I can at any moment put my crossbow here, and it's fixed, so it's not only wall mount, it's also table mount. Okay, now let's load some bolts. So prepare the frontal part and go in. Now so it's bolt total capacity. We're missing 1 bolt, whatever. Okay, and now let's test with a bolt magazine. Very nice. So here we have very good surface, so nothing is catching here. Everything is ready here because it's Adder frontal part, which has, I will show you, just unload it, and because it have here those profiles so that the rail can go underneath here, and this nice feature, so then you manipulate with the bolts, those don't overhang with over the string, as it could be like this. Yeah, so this never happens because it prevents it. Okay, so let's summarize what we did. We upgraded R9 Crossbow with upgrade kit for Adder 2 version. We addressed specific things that needs to be done. It's filing of the frontal part and handle modification and filing the handle, and also what you do next. There are two suggestions. One suggestion is you go with either standard magazine for 5 bolts. Okay, it's slightly modified, but anyway, or you maybe want to use York's V2 magazine for short bolts, or if you want to go with long bolts, then you can get our bolt magazine Adder variation and use it after upgrade. Okay guys, so thank you for watching this video. This time it was quite long and a lot of information, but in next video we will look on how to convert your RX or R9 model into the Adder platform. In that case we will modify only this part and the handle part, but the inner parts will remain original ones. That means those will be not reinforced, and you should not use too strong limbs on your model. But the benefit is that you actually can make this conversion almost for nothing, and then you will be able again, for example, put this UPBOLT magazine on the converted RX or R9 model. Finally, I would like ask you for your feedback. So would you be interested if we would offer those Adder upgrade kits together with UPBOLT magazine as one set, so you can order it in one place and get some additional discount on the magazine maybe? And what's your thoughts about this after upgrade? What would you prefer? Would you prefer UPBOLT magazine? Would you prefer some kind of short bolt magazine, maybe York's magazine? So it's really valuable for us to understand what's your demand. So leave the comments below and let us know. Thank you.